Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Shafia binti Waka. I'm from class J4 EM 1103A. For my class MEC 291, we have to do an experiment on the observation of the microstructure of cast iron. In today's video, I'm going to tell you about the safety, the procedure, the result, the discussion, and finally the conclusion. First is switch on your computer. The second step is double click on the iSolution Light 64 icon. Then click on the capture image icon on the left side of the interface and click on the live measure icon on the right side of the interface. The third step is switch on the microscope. The fourth step is put the sample on the workstation that is located under the magnification lens. Fifth step, the workstation was brought up by adjusting the coarse focus so that the sample is close to the magnification lens. The coarse focus was adjusted slowly so that the sample doesn't hit the magnification lens. The sixth step is the optical lens was adjusted accordingly to the both of the eyes until the image is clear to see. Seventh step is the workstation was brought down slowly by adjusting the coarse focus so that the image of the sample appear on the computer interface. The eighth step is to make the image of the sample more clearer is by adjusting the fine focus adjuster. Step number 9. The magnification lens can be zoomed in on the image of the sample when the magnification lens was rotated. Do not hold the magnification lens body when adjusting. The magnification lens holder is used to change the magnification lens. The last procedure is the observation was continued with all the other samples that have been given and switch off the computer and the microscope when the observation is finished. That is all for the procedure. Next, I'm going to show you the result. In this result video, it will show you all the microstructure of the cast iron. For steel, the carbon percentage is less than 2.14 weight percent carbon. The hardness of steel is weak. Next is cast iron. The carbon percentage for cast iron is greater than 2.14 weight percent carbon. The hardness for cast iron is greater. This is because the microstructure of gray iron contain a dark graphite flakes. Those sharp and graphite flake causes the gray iron to be fragile and also makes the structure become weaker. That is why the gray iron is brittle and weak when a tension is acting on it. The first one is composition. For white cast iron, it contains 2.5 to 4.0 weight percent of carbon and it has 1 weight percent of silicon. For nodular cast iron, it contains 3.2 to 4.1 weight percent carbon, 1 to 2.8 weight percent of silicon, sulfur less than 0.03 weight percent, and lastly is phosphorus that is less than 0.1 weight percent. For nodular cast iron, it contains 3.2 to 4.1 weight percentage of carbon. It has 1 to 2.8 weight percentage of silicon. It has less than 0.03 weight percentage of sulfur. And lastly, it has less than 0.1 weight percentage of phosphorus. These are the microstructure for white cast iron and nodular cast iron. Lastly is the mechanical characteristic for both iron. The mechanical characteristic for white cast iron is it has high tensile strength and corrosion resistance. For nodular cast iron, it has high malleable and abrasion resistance. Overall, for this experiment, that is the observation on the microstructure of cast iron, and all the objectives were achieved. The first objective was to learn about the microstructure of cast iron under the optical microscope, and it was achieved after seeing all the different microstructure of each of the identified sample of cast iron from the metallurgy microscope. The second objective was to know the category of each cast iron based on the characteristic of their microstructure. And that was also achieved when going through all the image of the microstructure. From all the image, the cast iron now can be classified based on the structure or the shape of their microstructure.